Ottawa Fury FC are on the verge of clinching their first ever appearance in the USL playoffs, but they come into a hostile environment at Children's Mercy Park, where the Swope Park Rangers are on a great run to end the 2019 season, and they want to go out with a bang in their last home game this year. It's the Swope Park Rangers versus Ottawa Fury FC, and it's coming up now. It's a cool, crisp fall evening here in Kansas City, Kansas, and Children's Mercy Park is the site for tonight's Eastern Conference encounter between the Swope Park Rangers and Ottawa Fury FC. Good evening, and thanks for joining us this evening. My name is Carter Augustine, and joined by 12-year MLS veteran and 5 of those seasons here at Sporting Kansas City, Jacob Peterson. A pleasure to have you with us here for what should be a really fascinating encounter this evening, Jacob.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Carter. It's a game that I think Ottawa comes to town here looking to clinch a playoff spot, and they can do that with a point. I also think it's an opportunity for them to build momentum here going into the playoffs. As for Swope, I think it's a good opportunity maybe for some individuals to put in a good showing here and really close the season off and continue that good run of form.
Individual stars on both sides here this evening. We'll start with the away side, Ottawa Fury FC, and a familiar face for the Swope Park Rangers. Kevin Oliveira returns to Children's Mercy Park.
Yeah, he's an exciting player and somebody who I've had quite a lot of experience playing alongside. Somebody who's very dynamic, who can really make a difference. He scored the first ever goal in Swope Park history, so it's a good homecoming for him in a way.
One of the players that will be trying to defend he and the rest of the forward line for Ottawa is one of the most talented young players in all of USL, Jalen Lindsay, returning to the starting lineup for the Swope Park Rangers here.
Yeah, Carter. Jalen's one of those guys who I think has a very big future in this game. He's one of the players who I think should be really thought of as a fixture maybe next year for Sporting, and this is another opportunity to show that he can get his legs under him and put in some good work here heading into the offseason.
It would be really fun to watch these two players here this evening, and it was a thrill for all of us to watch the career of Austin Bold's Promise Isaac. The USL and US soccer communities are mourning the loss of one of our own gone too soon. Promise Isaac, who was an Olympic silver medalist, passed away last Wednesday at the age of 31. Our thoughts are with his family, friends, and teammates. Please join us in a moment of silence as we remember Promise Isaac. Welcome back. Carter Augustine joined by Jacob Peterson here, and we're about ready for tonight's matchup between the Swope Park Rangers and Ottawa Fury FC. And for the Swope Park Rangers, in 17th place in the Eastern Conference, but in really good form lately. 3-1-2 in their last 6. 4 changes from a 2-2 last-minute equalizing draw against Hartford. And Jacob, it's going to be tough to replace the man up top, Wilson Harris, here this evening.
Looking over the lineup, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Is Wilson Harris has been on such a tear lately. It's going to be up to that front three of who's really going to step up and put in a good performance here.
Meanwhile, for the visitors, Ottawa Fury FC, they could clinch a playoff spot here this evening, which would be their first in their history in USL with just a draw. 3 changes for them, but the ever-present Carl Howarth is the captain, and he does a lot for this Ottawa side.
Yeah, he does just about everything. He leads Ottawa in just about every statistical category, and he's somebody that Swope really has to keep an eye on tonight.
And one guy that will be keeping the eye on a lot of the affairs is the away visitor, Coach Nikola Popovic, who in 2017 led the Swope Park Rangers all the way to the USL Cup final. Very familiar with the Kansas City area and very familiar with Paulo Nagamura, as are you, Jacob Peterson.
Yeah, Paulo is one of those guys, those rare guys in the sport that really puts in the work, and you can see that he's doing the same job here as a coach.
Was an assistant for Nikola Popovic at the Swope Park Rangers, and now the 2 former confidants facing off against each other here this evening. Ottawa Fury starting with the ball from left to right, Swope Park Rangers from right to left in their traditional blue with orange trim. Ottawa Fury wearing the all-white with red and black sleeves as they look to try and grab the point that will clinch their spot in the playoffs, but they could do a lot more as well. With a win, they might be clinching a minimum of 8th place, which would give them a home game in the playoff round in the playoffs. They would need just a little bit of help over the weekend, but it certainly would take them closer. Ottawa Fury FC, a lot to play for them here, especially this evening. Jacob Peterson, what's it like as a player when you know that you can clinch a playoff spot with a performance?
Yeah, I think it's everything. I think it's going to be on them really tonight. They're going to push the pace here early, I think, and I hope that Swope recognizes that and maybe tries to take the sting out a little bit. But for Ottawa, there's a great chance here. They have 3 games against non-playoff teams, and I think they'll be looking to get 9 points out of those games.
Certainly that's what the captain, Carl Howarth, said after their win over Indy 11. It's not out of the question for them to jump up a few spots in the standings. He said they're looking for 9 points out of 9 here, maybe put the pressure on the teams above them and try and avoid that 7th position and avoid the playoff rounds altogether. Meanwhile, for the Swope Park Rangers, playoffs are out of the question for Paulo Nagamura and the home side here this evening, but they have been in really good form over the last 6 games. 3 wins, 2 draws, just 1 loss, and they haven't been beaten at home here in those 6 games either.
Yeah, they've doubled their win total here in the past 6 games. So it's certainly what you want here heading into the offseason, and something that Paulo Nagamura and his staff will certainly be proud of.
Rather disjointed opening 2 minutes here as teams trying to settle into this one. And Ottawa will get a throw here on the near side. Midfield is one into the direction of Moore Sam. He's tried to play it forward for Cristiano Francois, offside against Ottawa and the forward.
Yeah, Swope got lucky there. If Francois holds up his run a little bit there, he's in, and he's in on goal, and that's Swope Park was certainly bailed out there.
Francois back in the lineup here this evening, as well as his forward line mate Moore Sam. One of the 3 changes Nikola Popovic made to this Ottawa Fury side. They got a big-time 1-0 victory against Indy 11 last Wednesday. And again, returning to a place he knows all too well, Nikola Popovic, 27-9, including that playoff run all the way to USL Cup final in 2017. Here's Alexander trying to pry his way forward into the attack, and he earns Swope Park Rangers their first corner of the game.
It's very well done there by Alexander, really pushing the pace there, making something out of nothing really, and earning the first corner kick of the game.
See there, Charlie Ward coming over to usher that one out of play. And Rasenbek Akhmatov comes to the near side to take control of this corner kick. First opportunity of the game for the Swope Park Rangers. Akhmatov in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's an easy clearance, enough for the Ottawa Fury back line.
It's a disappointing corner kick there. You always, coaches say it all the time, but you got to miss the first man there. Give the big guys in the box a chance.
Akhmatov retaining his place here in the starting 11 this evening. Played a part in that 2-2 come from behind draw at Hartford. As did that man, Ayub Alak, scored in that game against Hartford Athletic. There's Tyler Freeman trying to make some magic along the near side.
It's good feet there from the young player.
Freeman, one of 4 Sporting players on loan here this evening for the Swope Park Rangers. This man among them as well, the captain tonight, Graham Smith. A diagonal for Alexander. Takes it first time, but he was in an offside position.
It's unfortunate there from Alexander because that's a really good switch play by Graham Smith, and he had a lot of space there. If he just holds up his run a little bit and maybe takes the first touchdown.
5 minutes in. Both teams still trying to figure each other out. There's a long boot forward by Callum Irving. Alexander ushers that out of play and brings forward, man, we talked about in pregame, the captain, Carl Howarth. Actually was listed as starting in the front 3 last week against Indy 11. Now he's moved back to right back. He does a variety of things for this Ottawa Fury FC side, Carl Howarth.
He really is the jack of all trades for them. Not only is he a good defender there at right back, but he creates a lot of chances. He scores a lot of goals. He's tied with the team lead there in goals with 9. And Swope certainly has to be careful to give up any free kicks around the box too, because he's deadly on those as well.
Yeah, scored a great free kick. Their lone goal in that 1-0 victory over Indy 11. Now Ottawa with the ball just making their way past the halfway line. It's a good ball over to the left-hand side. Charging is Obasi. Past a few defenders into the area and is finally hooked clear by Renico Clark. And a foul drawn by Ethan Vanacore Decker, and maybe a chance to alleviate some pressure here for SPR.
That's a very underrated play there by Vanacore Decker.
Took a look there at the first, the mazy run, and then you were talking about Vanacore Decker here.
Yeah, he does a good job there. Swope was under it a little bit. They were dropping off and absorbing some pressure, and Vanacore Decker did a good job there of drawing the foul and allowing the whole back line to get up and kind of get things sorted back out.
Now Akhmatov has fouled for Swope Park Rangers, so it'll be free kick for the visitors, Ottawa Fury FC. As we've been talking about, in 8th place coming into this game on 48 points, 13, 9, and 9. Just 3, 5, and 7 on the road, this Ottawa Fury team. 7 draws, but they'll be looking for all 3 points here this evening. A draw, as we talked about, will clinch their spot in the playoffs, though, and that would be quite the accomplishment for Ottawa Fury, and Nikola Popovic be their first time in the USL Championship playoffs.
See how Swope is just dropping off and letting the center backs pass it back and forth, which for them was all right. Ottawa almost gets in there, but it's something that it clearly is in Paulo's game plan there, to drop off and maybe allow the 2 center backs to make the game and cut off more of their dangerous options.
Here they are passing it along the back line again. Ottawa looking inside is Howard. Maybe this is one of those guys that they're trying to cut off. Charlie Ward, one of the main men here for this Ottawa Fury side, especially in possession.
Yeah, he really is the guy that sits in there and almost starts everything. Really good passer on the ball, and a lot of the stuff goes through him.
Helped start that move, some intricate passing, but well intercepted in the end with the SPR back line. And then there's Akhmatov clattering into the back of Kelvin Oliveira. Bit of a homecoming for Kevin Oliveira. Scored the first ever goal in Swope Park Rangers history. Still second in club history in assists, tied second, I should say. That goal did come here at Children's Mercy Park as well against Portland Timbers 2. A penalty in the second half. It was part of 2 very successful Swope Park Rangers teams. Falls to the edge of the area. That's a decent rip from Wall Fall, blocked away. And still alive now, Ottawa. Stutter step move, and Oliveira got some power behind that shot, but it's straight down the pipe at John Pulskamp.
It all starts with that set piece there, and Nana Adekor wins the ball and really puts Swope on their heels there. You got to deal with that first ball, and so many goals come off of that knockdown. So it was in the end a good save from Pulskamp, but you got to deal with that first ball originally.
And there you see the attacking powers of Kevin Oliveira, always looking to get a shot away. So I was saying, part of those 2016, 2017 Western Conference Championship teams for the Swope Park Rangers side.
Yeah, Swope's having a hard time here building out. Ottawa's doing a good job at pressing up high and trying to put them on their heels, which they're doing a great job of.
Some high, intense pressure here from the visitors early on. Trying to get on the front foot and get one foot in the playoffs here. Here they win it back again with that high press you were just talking about. But Akhmatov tracking back, gets a foot to it, but it falls to Oliveira. Jalen Lindsay tracking back, wins it back from Oliveira, and then Smith does well under pressure.
It's just relentless here from Ottawa. They're winning the ball, and the entire last 5 minutes has all been in Swope Park Rangers half here.
Anewa Obasi a little upset there with the foul called against him, which maybe will help the Rangers relieve some pressure, but it has been a relentless start from Ottawa Fury FC. Smith for the run of Freeman. Keeper well off his line, Callum Irving. A little tug back there from Kuzain, easy call for the referee.
Yeah, another good look there though from Graham Smith. That might be a ball that they're trying to exploit, especially with how high Howarth gets up on the field.
Smith making his 15th start for the Swope Park Rangers, wearing the captain's armband. Of course, spent a good couple of months playing for Sporting Kansas City in the latter stages of summer. Graham Smith, seen returning to this SPR side here this evening. Already seen, as Jacob Peterson has mentioned, that passing range the center back possesses for SPR.
He's a player that's really had a good season overall. A guy who was thrust into the lineup with Sporting Kansas City, and for most of the time there, he held his own and he did a really good job. Had a goal and an assist as well, two big time points there. And coming back down here, I think that all started though with his experience that he gained playing with the Rangers.
He certainly has talked about that. Here comes Howarth with a clever cutback. It's blocked away there. Combination of Smith and Clark getting in the way of what looked like a really dangerous move for Ottawa Fury.
You see here, it's the guy we've been talking about. Howarth really gets into the attack there, gets in behind Alexander. Great block, though, coming over from Graham Smith.
Just talking about him and how he's credited, as Jacob Peterson just mentioned, his time here with the Swope Park Rangers. Bit of a commentator's curse, though, as Smith gives it away, and here come Ottawa Fury trying for the near post, and 4 white shirts in the box there. And more Sam hearing it from his teammates as he clatters it against the wrong side of the side netting.
Yeah, that, I hope he mishit that and he was trying to cross it, because he had a lot of options there in the box. And I think, as you said, his teammates were not pleased with him there.
So a bit of an escape there for Smith and the rest of that SPR back line. Alak switches play beautifully. Lindsay now charging forward from his right back position. First touch from Zay Pedro. He's begging for the AR to give a foul. Nothing given. It'll trickle all the way out for a goal kick.
No, but that's better from Swope, how they moved the ball quickly, switched it from side to side, and then got probably their best one-on-one player, Zay Pedro, the ball out there. Those are the type of opportunities that Swope needs to find more often here.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. We're into the 15th minute here. Jacob Peterson, what have you made so far in this clash between Swope Park Rangers and Ottawa Fury FC?
I think just like we expected up here, Ottawa's really pushing the pace. Maybe not as many clear-cut opportunities, but for the majority of the game, it's been played in Swope Park's half, and it's might be something that Swope wants to absorb some pressure and hit them on the counter, which when you're living like that, it can be dangerous. So I think they're going to have to get their lines up and try to get more control over the ball and really let their possession do the defending for them.
There's another foul called against the left back, Obasi. He's coming off a fantastic performance against Indy 11, named to the USL Championship Team of the Week. Was 16 of 20 on his duels, won all 8 of his aerials, 12 recoveries. It's a decent stat sheet.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all for Anewa Obasi. Meanwhile, the Swope Park Rangers left back to throw in high up the pitch. And it's a clever throw. Finds the run of Akhmatov. Good tackle, though, from Nana Adakora. Back now with Graham Smith, and the Rangers getting a little bit more possession here, but watch out, man behind you just about gets it over to the right-hand side.
Got a little bit lucky there, but I'm sure he'll take it.
Still with the home team. And Ayub Alak. Hussein calling for it, receives it. His pass cut out by Howard. Alexander in towards Vanacore Decker. Freeman on the edge of the area. Now Kuzain eventually hoofed away Ottawa Fury. Some clever footwork from Ayub Alak, and he's won a foul high up the pitch.
Very well done there. He's much better overall from Swope, sustaining some pressure here, and you can see here dancing out of pressure there in and out, and then draws the free kick in a dangerous position.
Fall, the man who felled Ayub Alak, who is making his 19th start of the season. Really has come on lately as well. Ayub Alak started the season on the injury notices for the Swope Park Rangers, but has battled through those injury problems to again make his 19th start. And he did score his second goal for the team against Hartford last week. Earned this free kick now for the Swope Park Rangers, about dead center as well. And it's Zay Pedro who thwacks it off the Ottawa wall. Alexander battling for it, and he wins it back. Freeman, left-footed cross. Through the legs of Vanacore Decker. Lindsay gets a touch. Still alive now with Zay Pedro. Swope Park Rangers just about doing enough to keep possession here.
This is a lot better, really it is. They're making Ottawa here defend, which really puts them back and kind of shifts the momentum here in the game.
Renico Clark maintaining his starting position. Late season addition now for the Rangers, making his 7th appearance. Coming over from Harborview in his native Jamaica. There he is, Clark, finding Alexander. Alak, clever reverse pass for Vanacore Decker. Maybe a little too clever. Vanacore Decker offside.
Yeah, but Carter, you were saying how Alex really had a good run of form lately, and I think he's been one of the main reasons why Swope's had such good success here in the past month. And you can see balls like that. He's a tricky player, a skillful player, but one who has that vision too. That's a difficult skill to teach.
especially in that position, that holding midfield role for this 4-3-3 that the Swope Park Rangers employ. What types of qualities do you need to have in that position in this system?
Well, you can just look to Sporting to see how Ilya Sanchez does. You really have to be technical. You have to be comfortable on the ball, but you also have to have range to cover a lot of ground, because when you push your two fullbacks up high, there's a lot of space to be exploited there. And I think that Alak here really has done a great job of that in the past month, and a lot of the stuff that Swope does really goes through him, and he's pulls the strings back there, much like Ilya does.
21-year-old Belgian in his first season with the Swope Park Rangers. There he is trying to curl that one along the line. Just goes out of play. Couldn't quite keep it in play.
Commentator's curse again.
We'll have to get used to it, Jacob Peterson. Just about 20 minutes gone here at Children's Mercy Park. It is a beautiful evening for soccer here in Kansas City, Kansas. And here's a beautiful run forward by Zay Pedro, trying to get it onto his left foot. And just feels a little tug, goes to ground, nothing given by the referee. He just overhit his own touch there, Zay Pedro.
Yeah, he knew it, and that's why he went down so easily, hoping to get something out, but hoping to be bailed out. But referee was right there. There was no foul in that play.
No bailout coming for Zay Pedro from our man in the middle, Gabriele Giusti. And over with Ottawa Fury, Nana Adekora. You know Nana Adekora pretty well, Jacob Peterson, former teammate of yours.
I do. I played with him in Toronto for 2 years, and he was actually in the same trade that sent me over to San Jose. So he's back then he was a much younger player and an up-and-coming player, but one who's really had a good career, has 9 caps with the Canadian national team, and I think is a big part of this team, and certainly had some veteran experience there on the back line.
Yeah, he's making his 10th start, his 15th appearance this season for Ottawa, and it was interesting listening to Carl Howarth, the captain. There's a foul on Kuzain, and Ottawa Fury can't believe it.
I'm with him. That seemed pretty soft there, but if you're Swope, you take that. That's a dangerous spot. They got to be careful when they're playing out of back right there.
Yeah, Jeremy Gagnon-Laparé there, very upset at the foul called. As I was saying, Carl Howarth, after that win over Indy 11, was talking about how Nana Adekora maybe hasn't gotten the playing time he thinks he should have this season, but he stepped up in that game against Indy 11, and we see him here again starting in a crucial game for Ottawa Fury towards the latter stages of the season.
He's somebody that you can count on. He's reliable. Like I said, when he's a veteran now, he's had so many games under his belt that he can really give some direction there to guys in front of him, which obviously makes the job easier for him and his center back pair.
Here is his center back partner, Thomas Meyer-Giguère, on loan from Montreal. Canadian connection there on the center half partnership. This one's hooked forward. Alexander trying to shield this one out of play, and instead it'll be a foul given Cristiano Francois there. Judged to have fouled Alexander.
Yeah, he's putting his hands up, but he knows it's foul. Alexander does a good job at shielding the ball, letting it run out, and Francois is just trying to make a play, and I get that. It's worth taking that risk.
There's Cristiano Francois again back in the lineup for his 27th start. Pretty much been a mainstay for this Ottawa Fury side, and in his first year has had a really fantastic outlay as well. 8 goals and 5 assists for Ottawa Fury. Back in the starting front line here for visitors this evening. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the Championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks. There's a hefty challenge here along the near sideline. You heard the Ottawa bench react as it happened right in front of Nikola Popovic and the rest of that visiting bench.
See the replay here. Yeah, he comes in and gets him a little bit, but Akhmedov, I don't think that there's too much in that. I think the fact that it happens right in front of the Ottawa Fury bench probably is the reason why that yellow card comes out even more so. But he's all right, and we'll continue there. Don't think there was too much in that challenge, though.
Akhmedov, the first to go in the referee's pocketbook here this evening. We'll have to be careful here on out. Just the 25th minute. And a combative midfielder. We saw him win a tackle high up the pitch that led to that Ayub Alak goal against Hartford last time Swope Park Rangers were in action on Saturday. Adekora now looking forward for the run of Francois Alexander. Handles that really well, the young Brazilian left back.
It's a good play there from Swope, really getting out of pressure there. And Alexander's so smooth with the ball at his feet. He's somebody that you can play it into, even with a guy right on him, and you know he's going to keep possession for the team.
He's had a fantastic first year with the Swope Park Rangers. Alexander, his 30th game, all starts, leads the team in minutes, leads the team with 6 assists as well from that left back position. Now he's streaming forward, looking for the pass from Alak, and just can't quite connect with the left back there.
It's a good run, though. Again, you can see when Swope looks to switch play early, there's opportunities there, and there's certainly space.
Perhaps a high boot, and yes, seen just a little late for Francois' liking from the near side ref, but it's a foul against Renico Clark.
Yeah, Francois tries to get in there, and yeah, it's a high kick. There's no contact, but I can understand the referee blowing the whistle there, and I think he got a flag up from the linesman there as well.
Certainly did, and listened to the near side AR to give this foul. And Jacob Peterson was just talking about this. You don't want to give this man, Carl Howarth, too many chances on a set-piece situation. Here he is floating it towards the back post. Pulskamp just getting a hand to it, punching this one. Good punch out of play on the far side.
Yeah, the ball comes in. Maybe it's a little bit close to Pulskamp there, but instead of taking any chances, he just punches it away and out there for an Ottawa Fury throw.
Seems to be the way a lot of keepers are leaning in modern soccer. Instead of trying to catch, going for the punch at times.
Yeah, if you can punch it with that distance, then it makes sense.
We got enough purchase on that one, and now purchase on the tackle from Jalen Lindsay. We get another throw for Ottawa. Oliveira can't quite keep hold of it. Pushed forward by Smith, and now Alak. The deft header inside. And under pressure, the Rangers able to maintain possession.
See, Ottawa's really pressing high here.
Some calm play on the ball there by Graham Smith.
Very well done from the center back there, and 2 guys coming at him, and just a little right left, and he's through.
Inside his own area as well. As Ottawa ramp up the pressure here. Here comes Gagnon Lapare. Inside for Wall. Hunting in packs are the Swope Park Rangers. The loose ball initially fell for Ottawa, but good work again. Vanacore Decker deflects the pass, and it's back with the home side.
Game's getting sloppy here a little bit. Ottawa's really turning back up that pressure and really not letting Swope Park breathe at all.
Bit of pinball there between the 2 teams, and eventually out of play. Along the far side will be a throw-in. Jalen Lindsay throwing it down the line and following his throw the run. There's a clever first touch from Sam, but nothing given. Referee saw nothing wrong with that challenge by Renico Clark.
Yeah, I've seen referees give that before, so I think Renico Clark maybe was a little lucky there, but that all starts from a giveaway there. And it's a poor dealing with that ball in, which really they should have dealt with that, and then there's no problem at all.
So maybe a bit of fortune there for Clark, where Sam definitely thought he had been fouled, trying to stream his way forward. Poolskamp making his 13th start of the season. Plays this one out of bounds, but that's the most of any goalkeeper for the Swope Park Rangers, the 18-year-old from Bakersfield, California. And he's got the best record of the goalkeepers that played this year as well, 4, 6, and 2 in his previous 12.
And for an 18-year-old, goalkeepers obviously is one of those positions where it comes with experience, and the older you get, the better you are. So the fact that he's 18 and has this many games under his belt is great for his development.
Certainly the Swope Park Rangers staff excited about John Poolskamp, who came up with the LA Galaxy, then had some trials in Europe, including with the likes of Bournemouth in England. The Rangers really excited to be able to tap into his services here in 2019. And as you mentioned, Jacob Peterson, he's come along and got quite a few appearances at such a young age. Really excited about this young netminder, John Poolskamp. Ottawa Fury now back in possession as we've passed the half-an-hour mark gone in the first half. It's been a half where we haven't seen a whole lot of clear-cut chances so far.
No, and as you look here, really, Swope is just dropping numbers behind the ball. Even Vinegar Decker here is at the bottom of his own, in his own half on the circle, just kind of giving possession. I think Swope might want to push their line up a little bit, especially once Ottawa gets in their half. They're going to have to put some pressure on the ball.
Just a little behind Lindsay, and look at left back Alexander temporarily coming in field to follow up on that errant pass.
Yeah, Paulo's yelling out right now, but when you break that first line, you've got to have the first pass go forward here. Ottawa's pressing so high, they're basically going man-on-man with the center backs and the outside backs. It's up to, like right here, or now you push the pace, and you can break those lines and really relieve that pressure.
Here come the Swope Park Rangers. Just exactly what Paul Nagamura wanted. Renico Decker looking for the foul. Looked like there was contact there from Obasi. Instead, white shirts stream forward into attack. And some miscommunication there. It's gifted right back to Poolskamp. But some good building out of the back, and what you were just highlighting, Jacob Peterson, as they're able to break that line, and Juan Kuzane got his head up and started the fast break the other way.
Yeah, and it also starts with a good entry ball in from Renico Clark there, and that's something that when you're matched up like Ottawa's high, you've got to be confident. You've got to take those risks and play balls in dangerous areas. And the more that they can do that, I think the better it will be for them to get out of that, because once that pressure is, it's tough to beat.
This hit there from Tyler Freeman along the near side that kills the Rangers attack, but the work rate to track back and win it back for the Rangers. And Tyler Freeman dipping and diving past bodies and has a go with the left foot. Scintillating run from Tyler Freeman. Can't quite keep that shot on frame.
This really was an excellent play here from Freeman. You can see he's driving at the back line. For a 16-year-old to have the confidence to do this is really something, and especially because he just took a poor touch right out of bounds, and a lot of players hang their head and maybe their confidence dips a little bit. But he comes back, wins the ball, and then goes on a 35-yard run, gets a shot off. Very, very promising stuff there from Freeman.
making his 15th appearance on the season, the homegrown loanee from Sporting Kansas City, from Shawnee, Kansas. He's got the 1 goal to his name as well for the Swope Park Rangers this season.
It's another player that, being that young and playing against professionals, playing against, you know, this Ottawa Fury team, especially is a team of veterans, grown men, and it's only going to make Tyler Freeman that much better as he develops into a professional player.
The turnover and one back by Alexander. That's been a common theme for the Swope Park Rangers this year. They've been one of the youngest teams in the entire USL Championship. And played 40 players this season as well. A lot of SKC players on loan, trying out some academy players. We've seen the young guns grow in stature here towards the back half of the season.
Certainly we have. Like the first 25 games of the season, it was, you know, a lot of learning experiences and maybe taking your lumps then, but the past month this team has really looked like a different team. It's these young players have blossomed into, hopefully, it's just the start of things to come, though, and obviously with there being a little bit of turmoil with the first team, there's opportunities to be had.
Zay Pedro looking for an opportunity to go past the back line. That's a wonderful tackle along the back there by Obasi. And of course, SPR perhaps missing one of the brighter of those young stars has really popped into form. You talked about it in pregame. Wilson Harris, 9 goals in his last 10 games to bring him to 11 on the season, which leads the team, and some tough shoes to fill here as he is unable to make the game day roster for the Swope Park Rangers, but he's been fantastic.
He really has been. He's probably been the single most important player here for Swope the past month, and somebody who, while he's a still young player, he's finding his finishing boots, which is great to see because it's the hardest thing to do in sports, score a goal in soccer. And he certainly seems like he's developing a knack for it.
There's some pressure high up the pitch by Akhmatov that led to this throw-in from Lindsay. Clever touch there, Obasi. Plucked it out of the sky, but then Smith read the situation brilliantly. In the end, it's going to be a yellow card for Renico Clark as Gagnon Laparé just about able to nip in there, get a toe to it, and earn this foul, and a yellow card for the center back.
Yeah, I don't think there's much complaining there from Renico Clark. He comes in late, clips him. If he doesn't get him, he's in. So it's one of those yellow cards that, of course, you don't want, but at the end of the day, you'll take because you're taking down an opponent who's in on goal.
Some good closing speed there from Jeremy Gagnon Laparé, making his 30th appearance in midfield for Ottawa here this evening. 24-year-old. Really looked like that was Clark's ball before he closed down the space so quickly, and he's earned this foul and a free kick for his team.
That's another dangerous one as well.
Center backs have gone up to join this set piece opportunity. Clipped in, and Clark perhaps making amends for the foul, and he wins the header and draws a foul of his own to allow the Swope Park Rangers to defend that free kick.
He certainly did. That was a big play there to really rectify his mistake in the first place.
Well, the final playoff spots are at stake October 9th when Wednesday Night Soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in at 7 p.m. Central Time as Birmingham Legion FC fights for the last spot in the East, while upset-minded Hartford Athletic looks to crush those hopes in front of their home faithful. Catch all the drama unfold Wednesday, October 9th at 7 p.m. Central on ESPN News. That's a wonderful game tomorrow evening. We've got a great game on our hands here. Another one going on tonight between Nashville and Louisville. And the Swope Park Rangers have actually been Ottawa Fury's best friends over the past month or so in that 6-game excellent form. They have beaten Birmingham, beaten North Carolina FC, drawn with Charleston. Those are all results that have really benefited the Ottawa Fury. And here come the Fury with Fury into the area. Back heel, losing odds from the crowd, but it doesn't find its intended recipient.
Swope's living dangerously here. They really are by not making that, as we talked earlier, and Paulo Nagamura was harping on it. They have to break lines and really play forward, because when you keep playing these negative balls, Ottawa's just going to keep pressing high.
Clark gets a touch, but it's going to be kept in play by Francois. Sizing up Alexander. Now the cross deep to the far post. Oliveira can't bring that under his control, and it's out for an SPR goal kick.
His touch lets him down there, because that's a good ball, and somebody of Kevin Oliveira's technical ability, you would think that would be a fairly easy touch for him. So Swope again, slid off the hook.
Well, you played with Kevin Oliveira, and he was named number 2 on the USL 20 under 20 list way back in its inaugural edition. Did have an injury in his first year towards ACL here with the Swope Park Rangers after he got off to such an excellent start here in Kansas City. What type of player do you know Kevin Oliveira to be? And we've seen it here a little bit on display here this evening.
Yeah, we have a bit. He's one of those guys that you really he's got a feel for the game. You don't see a lot of those in the American soccer landscape. And obviously he's not an American, but he does have that skill that you really can't teach, and he's a difference maker out there. It certainly was unfortunate that he had that injury, but he's bounced back, and I think he's recovered, and he's having a good career.
Here he is pressing all the way back to the goalkeeper. Clark at full stretch of that 6'4" frame, and he's got that pass blocked away.
Yeah, he's holding his hand up, but he was trying to make the right pass. That's Hernandez. It comes back in there. Juan Kazan comes back in there, and that's the ball that they have to find. There's always one man open in there with how high Ottawa's going and stepping up to Pulskamp. So you got to find that. You got to skip that first line of defenders, and it really will open up the whole game for Swope.
Here, Paulo Nagamura urging Tyler Freeman to press, but he's undone by a clever hesitation. Howarth, and now Howarth releasing Francois down the right. Francois past Clark into the area and sides his cross out of play for a goal kick. That was a decent opportunity for Ottawa.
He does the hard part here. He gets Renico Clark to fall down here, to dive in, and he's just got to make a simple pass, and he slices it off. That's something that I'm sure he's frustrated with, and I can't keep harping on it, but Swope is getting bailed out here, and Ottawa's really put in a good performance, and they really should have more to show for that.
Still looking to really test John Pulskamp in goal. Ottawa Fury. There's another foray down the right. Francois, who does have 5 assists, which is second on the Ottawa Fury team.
Now the good thing for Ottawa is he's finding that space in behind Alexander. Renico Clark's in a tough position. Center backs never want to come out wide and defend, and when you're one-on-one with a tricky player like Francois, that's a tough position. So he's doing the job to get in those spots. It's just got to be a little bit better product when he gets there.
Here we see some of the trickery and clever footwork from Oliveira. He keeps possession well for the Ottawa Fury. Howarth being pressed out of play. Akhmatov gets a toe to it. Closing in on the final couple of minutes here of regular time in the first half. Still scoreless in Kansas City. And Howarth running past Freeman, standing up across that again will drift harmlessly beyond the touchline.
It's again though attacking that right side, and they're finding a lot of joy out there right now.
Howarth and Francois, that is a fantastic combination in the USL Championship. 8 and 9 goals between the two of them there on the right side of the Ottawa Fury. You can understand why they're looking that direction to spark their attack. Clever feet from Mayor Giguere, and now in behind for Oliveira. Clark comes over, makes the challenge, and fairly, says the referee. That was a massive challenge by Renico Clark that he had to get right. Referee said he did.
I would love to see replay of this one. Comes through, and oh no, gets the ball. My initial view was that was a penalty, but he actually comes in. I'm not sure if he loses his footing a little bit. I think he does, and comes through. He gets the ball. Yeah, he gets the player a little bit, but I think the referee made the correct decision there.
Last-ditch challenge there by Renico Clark. One of the better moves of the game for Ottawa. Now this one's in behind Alexander. Francois trying to cut it back. Shouts for handball and given. It's a penalty for Ottawa Fury FC in the 45th minute.
We've been saying it. It's just a simple, straight ball. There's no pressure on Nana Adekora. He's been doing it all game. Just a little chip over Alexander's head, which is a great ball. Then it puts Renico Clark. Here's the ball in. Right over Alexander. Maybe misjudges it, but Francois has been the danger man. He cuts it back here. Hands out. It's a penalty. I think the referee made the right call there. But it's really Swope's own fault there. They've seen that play happen, and they have to make adjustments here at halftime.
And they'll have to make adjustments a man down as Renico Clark has been sent off here for this handball. Trying to see if it was a straight red or a yellow card. We've been told he's been sent off, and the Swope Park Rangers reduced to 10 men here, and a penalty to come as well. Renico Clark shakes his head as he trots over to the near sideline. Straight red given from the referee there.
I'm a bit confused about that. Was it just straight red for the handball itself, or was there something more to that maybe we missed up here?
Regardless, it's a chance for Ottawa Fury to take the lead here. Wall fall. Stutter step. Right foot, and he scores. Buries it. Keeper goes the wrong way. And Wall fall, his 10th goal of the season, puts Ottawa ahead 1-0.
It's clinical there from Paul. Good penalties. The keeper the wrong way. Here's the replay again. I'm just not really sure what the red's for, if it was a straight red. His hands out. Yeah, it's not tucked into his body, but it's fine. It's a penalty. See, referee's going over to Paulo Nagamura. Naga's probably asking him the same thing.
He was on a yellow card already, Renico Clark, but yeah, given a straight red here. Oh, there we go. It's second yellow. That makes a lot more sense.
There we go. Now I get it. And it's unfortunate because he's really hung out to dry there. It's a good penalty there, sends Polskamp the wrong way. He's at his 10th goal of the season.
Leads the team, Wall fall. Big moment, and Paulo Nagamura is still getting an explanation as the halftime whistle blows here. Huge moment at the end of the first half. Penalty and a sending off conceded by Renico Clark. That penalty converted by that man, Wall fall. And it's 1-0 Ottawa Fury on top of the Swope Park Rangers. Stick with us. We'll be back with all the highlights, stats, and analysis of the first half here at Children's Mercy Park. Welcome back to Children's Mercy Park. Halftime here, and the Ottawa Fury lead by a score of 1-0. And Carter Augustine joined here by Jacob Peterson. And Jacob, it's been a fantastic first half. Ottawa Fury get a goal right at the end, and that could really bolster their hopes here for all 3 points.
Yeah, and I think you'd say that Ottawa deserved that. Ottawa was certainly the better team. They pinned back Swope in their own half, and consistently, maybe they didn't have the quality of chances, but they were in and around the box, and right there at the end of the end of the half, good things happened for them.
And some of those good things included that goal and the penalty. We'll take a look at the first half highlights for Swope Park Rangers against Ottawa Fury. And here's a chance early on. See the delivery over the right-hand side. We saw this as a common theme in the first half for Ottawa.
Yeah, it really was, and on this particular play, I think Grant Smith does a great job at coming over and blocking it, but the bigger storyline here is it's just a simple, fairly straight ball, whether it's Howarth or Francois, they're getting in behind and really causing problems there.
Meanwhile, for the Swope Park Rangers, they've had to deal with a high press from Ottawa Fury FC. You were calling for more of this from the Swope Park Rangers in the first half.
This is exactly what they needed. And I know it'll change a little bit with the red card, with how Swope goes about it, but that's what they need. They need to break the lines because Ottawa's just putting out the full-out press and really keeping Sporting back.
And then you talked about it, the red card, and it all came from that ball over the top on the right-hand side.
Same exact type of ball. Leads to the penalty there, and it's a great penalty, but it's that straight ball that they really have to deal with better.
Finished off there by Wall Fall, his 10th goal of the season, and that gives Ottawa Fury FC the 1-goal lead here at halftime. Stick with us, we'll be right back as we check out what's happening around the league in the USL. 1-0 the halftime score between Ottawa Fury and Swope Park Rangers.
Long-range effort, oh, that's spectacular! From distance, and it's a goal! That's a great save, Van Oekel. That's it for Hartford Athletic!
Back out wide. Chance to put this in the penalty area. Chance, a goal! Devin Sandoval brings them to their feet in Albuquerque. A minute to play. Dia puts it in. Desperately headed away. Shot comes in. It's 2-2. Oh, can you believe it? From 2-0 down, Phoenix are level. Making the run, Mo Hernandez, edge of the box. Hernandez, great move, gets free. Hernandez gives SAFC the lead.
I told you the big man was feeling it tonight.
Going to the middle.
Oh, good shot.
Goes Frank, gets the shot away, score! Nowhere to go for Lorenzi.
Set up a shot, and it finds the corner. We're level at 2, and all of a sudden, game on here in Tucson. Puts this in the middle, looking for Ramos. Bingo! It's off the hands of Hara and in. The opening goal for Toronto FC 2.
Moafe lofts it. Boateng on the run. Boateng back of the net. Charles Boateng is first in league play.
To send it in. Headed away, couldn't get by the first man. Bermudez might come away with it, and he does! And there's nobody in goal! Greenville are going to score, and they're going to the playoffs! Greenville and Chris Bermudez!
Back here at Children's Mercy Park, Hat-Trick Harry entertaining the Swope Park Rangers faithful, and the Rangers will try and entertain them here in the second half, try and get back into this one as they trail by 1-0 against Ottawa Fury FC. And let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings, because this is a massive opportunity for the visitors. Ottawa Fury not quite clinched in the playoffs, but they do that with a point here this evening. But they're looking for more, trying to fight their way up the standings. Ideally, they want to be able to pass Louisville into that 6th position and avoid the play-in round. But with a win this evening, they will just about guarantee the fact that they will be hosting if they do wind up in that 7th or 8th position in the Eastern Conference. Now for this game between Swope Park Rangers and Ottawa Fury FC, there's a little bit of the stats here in the first half. What sticks out to you, Jacob Peterson?
Initially looking at this, the possession stat, I was surprised to see that it's 50-50. I think watching that game, Ottawa really had the majority of play. I think that they really pushed up, and maybe Swopes was passing around the back, but I think that's the biggest thing that stuck out to me.
Of course, 1-0 the score here. Ottawa Fury leading on that penalty late on here at Children's Mercy Park, and it's the final game of the 2019 season at Children's Mercy Park, as the Swope Park Rangers on the road to end their 2019 campaign, going to Louisville, and then Indy 11 on the final Saturday of the season. A few around the league notes. Saw the USL 20 under 20 list was unveiled last week. Jalen Lindsay coming in at number 19 on that list. Make sure you go to uslchampionship.com to check out the end of the season awards watch, but more importantly, to help vote for player and goal of the week, player of the month, I should say, for September, goal of the week. Wilson Harris up for both of those awards, and Jacob Peterson, you've been impressed with how he's been playing here the past 10 or so games.
Yeah, he'd certainly get my vote. I think he's really been the catalyst for Swope Park Rangers' change of form here, and somebody who has been getting invaluable playing time here in the end of the season.
And that goal against Birmingham Legion FC was a stunner, a flick at the near post. Make sure you go to uslchampionship.com and vote for those. And make sure you stick with us, as we will be right back. Second half kickoff just around the corner between the Swope Park Rangers and Ottawa Fury FC. Welcome back. Second half just about to start here in Kansas City. Ottawa Fury leading over the Swope Park Rangers thanks to a wall fall penalty right on the stroke of halftime. Carter Augustine here, joined by Jacob Peterson. And Jacob, it's a 1-0 deficit for the Rangers, and they're down a man as well here to start the second half. What are the keys to the second half for the Rangers if they want to get back in this?
Well, I think first and foremost, they're going to have to stay compact. Playing down a man for 45 minutes is difficult. If they're going to get one, it's probably going to be off a set piece or a counter. So they really need to stay compact there and make sure that Ottawa only has one goal.
Well, they've made some changes as well. The Swope Park Rangers staff and Paolo Nagamura bringing on 2 substitutes. Camden Riley, you see there, replacing Rosenbeck Akhmatov, and Felipe Hernandez coming into the game for Tyler Freeman, and that'll be a big boost to the Swope Park Rangers, seeing their talismanic midfielder back in the mix. Camden Riley will drop back into that center half position for Renico Clark as we are underway here at Children's Mercy Park. 1-0 Ottawa Fury leading through that wall fall penalty, as they have now 1 foot in the playoffs. Just a point will see them into their first ever appearance in the USL Championship playoffs. Going for all 3 here, trying to improve their seeding. The Rangers trying to come back here in the second half. It's a hefty challenge at Akora on Pedro, and nothing given there to start the second half. Both teams have switched sides as well. Swope Park Rangers in the all blue with orange trim, and Ottawa Fury with the all white, red and black sleeves. We saw Ottawa Fury with their pressure in the first half. Should we expect to see them try and ramp that up here at the start of the second half as well with this man advantage?
Yeah, I would think so. I think that they've got to be feeling very comfortable with where they're at. But at the same time, you've seen it time and time again where teams that go down a man actually get a burst of energy. And I think that with Swope, by putting on Felipe Hernandez, certainly adds a new dimension. Somebody who's going to be that tireless worker, which usually will spur other guys on. So I think for Ottawa, they really have to be sharp. They can't let their guard down. And they really just have to continue doing what they were in the first half, because they were very successful at it.
I was going to say, if we need some energy, maybe no one better for this Swope Park Rangers team than Felipe Hernandez. We're able to bring him on here after he played all 90 minutes in his first career MLS start just 2 days ago down in Dallas. I was down there for that. It was 95 degrees and humid. He ran around for 90 minutes, but fit enough here to get back in the lineup. Swope Park Rangers.
He's still young. He's got it in him. And I actually thought, albeit the scoreline wasn't the best for Sporting, I actually thought he held his own, and something that he can certainly build on heading into the offseason.
Here he is, intercepting a pass, laying it off for Cousin, and starting this attack. Lindsay cutting it back. It's Hernandez in the box. He finds Zay Pedro up against the player, shouts for handball, nothing given.
That was close there.
Best chance of the game for the Swope Park Rangers. And what a start to the second half. And the second half substitute, Felipe Hernandez, at the center of things.
Certainly was. And Jalen Lindsay also had a great run down there and set it all up. But you know, that's the type of energy that we expect from Felipe Hernandez.
The keeper was outside of his goal frame there, and Cousin got his eyes up. Looked like he wanted to shoot. Didn't pull the trigger though, so it's still with the Rangers. Now diving into the challenge. And the referee comes over to take control of this situation, but here was the best chance and a shot for handball from the Swope Park Rangers.
No, nothing there. That even if it did hit his arm's tucked in. It's good defending. It's a bit unlucky, but that's a positive start from Swope there. That's exactly what you want to see.
Now, our head referee, Gabriele Giusti, still having a chat with Cousin.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing on that one right there. So that's a good tackle. I think the referees just sees maybe emotions are a bit high and just wants to have a talk and settle everybody down here for the second half.
Alak now. Fancy juggling, but juggles himself into some trouble. And there's a big collision on the far side. A couple of players down, and now Zay Pedro. And it's just getting a little feisty here in the early stages of the second half. Swope Park Rangers showing some fight, saying they're not going to go down without a fight, despite being down a man.
Yeah, I guess that talking to didn't settle things down. The referee's going to have to do it again here. Some tricky juggling there, but Alec, it's just a 50-50 challenge there. They both kind of knocked knees. It's the follow-up challenge, I think, that maybe got Ottawa Fury players a little upset there.
It looked like Zay Pedro coming in right at the end here. And he's the one whistling for the foul. But maybe a bit of the Family Guy knee joke here between these two guys, Alak and Gagnon Laparé.
But I like this from Swope. I think that they didn't have enough of this in the first half. They didn't have enough pressure on the ball. They weren't hard to break down necessarily. So this is actually a good response here in the first 5 minutes of the second half, and showing that they have that bite, which is certainly a reflection of their head coach.
Paul Nagamura, known for his feisty style in the middle of the pitch for many years here at Children's Mercy Park, and perhaps it was his words at halftime that have sparked the Rangers to life. Still, two players being attended to by the training staffs. As it's been an intense start here to the second half. Again, Swope Park Rangers had Renico Clark sent off right on the stroke of halftime. Handball in the box, his second yellow card. And a penalty then dispatched expertly by Wall Fall. Zay Pedro again in the referee's notebook, and the ensuing free kick headed clear by Hernandez. Francois trying to leave it off. It'll be chased by Zay Pedro, but Fury and the goalkeeper Callum Irving able to control.
It's well dealt with there on that free kick from Swope. They were having a bit of a difficulty dealing with those in the first half, so it's good response then.
Here comes Howarth down the right-hand side. Errant pass pounced on by Hernandez. There's the other second half substitute, Camden Riley, coming in as a sub for the second consecutive game. Alak now. Good interplay on the near side from the Rangers, and then Kuzain looking for Hernandez. Adakora came over, cleared that one out of play.
It's much better though from Swope to find that possession, find those little combo plays in tight spaces. We need to see more of that if they want to get themselves back in this game.
Camden Riley coming on for his 23rd appearance of the season. The rookie was a draft pick by Sporting Kansas City. Wound up signing his deal with Swope Park Rangers. Here he is, shifting it over to Smith, and now Lindsay. Rangers having some time in possession here despite being down to 10 men.
You know, it looks like Ottawa's pretty content to just sit back and let Swope knock the ball around the back. But here they go. They're starting to inch up and press, and it's a good break there from Swope, though.
Able to keep it under pressure there was Lindsay. Just as Ottawa, as Jim Peterson mentioned, just as they had stepped up the pressure, but now they'll retreat here. First time from Lindsay. Good idea, but the idea was read the whole way by Obasi. Now Oliveira earns a foul against Jalen Lindsay.
It's a great look, though, from Jalen. If he gets that down, Swope's got some promising prospects here. It's just they need a little bit more of that, and especially if Ottawa's going to drop off and there's spaces to be had there. They really need to rest when they have the ball, because obviously being a man down, they're going to have to run a lot here when they're defending.
Ten minutes just about gone here in the second half. Ottawa Fury in possession and with that 1-0 lead. Trying to make it into the playoffs in the USL Championship for the first time since coming over from NASL, where he had a lot of success, of course, under the watchful eye of former SPR boss Mark Dos Santos, who Nikola Popovic was an assistant with here at the Swope Park Rangers. There's a poor giveaway from the Rangers, and that can invite Ottawa forward into attack. Oliveira slotting an edge of the box and past a couple of white shirts all the way through to Alexander.
Great recovery there from Alexander to read that and to step into that space and pick it off.
Really quelled the danger there, as it looked like it could be a good counterattack for the visitors.
Excellent switcher there too. Checked his shoulder, knew where everybody was, and found the open space on the other side of the field.
Cousin dropping him between the center halves to pick up the ball, and he'll shift it to Smith. Trying to hit a cross-field pass to Alexander, but it's well read by Howard, and now he can start the attack. Francois dribbling at a pair of Zay Pedro and Riley. Just turned away and ushered backwards.
Been a good opening 10 minutes though from Swope. I think they've kind of changed their mentality.
And now the first yellow card of the game for the away side, and it's the goal scorer Wall Fall, who's a little bit upset with his teammate there.
Yeah, it's not his fault. Poor pass there, and he's the one that takes one for the team there and picks up the yellow card to make sure that Swope doesn't get anything on the counter.
That will allow for a stoppage in play and the first substitution of the game for Nikola Popovic, and it is a familiar face for Swope Park Rangers fans. Haji Berry going to check in for SPR, and he was the Swope Park Rangers team MVP last season in 2018. Haji Berry, he replaces Moore Sam, and a club record 19 goals last season, which is good enough for second all-time in terms of an SPR career. As I said, a single season record for SPR, and had a really wonderful 2018 campaign for the Swope Park Rangers, Haji Berry.
And it's nice that Ottawa has that type of talent sitting there on the bench that can come into a game here as well.
Yeah, he could be a real game changer. Here he is, getting on the ball for the first time, Berry. Tackled away and out of play. And we alluded to it a little bit in pregame, but Jacob Peterson, you're a man that knows about scoring against your former clubs. You did it here, not only for Sporting KC, but against Sporting KC at Children's Mercy Park. And what's it? Is it a mindset, or what's the magic behind players scoring against their former clubs so often?
It's funny. Every player will say that, oh, you treat every game differently, but that's just a bold-faced lie. There's that added motivation, whether you leave on good terms or bad terms, it doesn't really matter. You always want to show, it's not for the coach, for the front office staff, or even just for your friends, your former teammates. You know, beating everybody at this level is competitive, and they just want to beat their friend maybe more than anything else. But I would always play, start my, if I was a coach, I would always start guys against their former team, because it always seems like they put in good performances.
Well, we've seen it a couple times this season, including Kevin Oliveira scoring for Ottawa against Swope Park Rangers in the reverse fixture back July 20th, where Ottawa defeated the Rangers 4-0. And now a turnover and a quick break for the Rangers is snuffed out by Mayor Giguère.
That's good from Swope, though. That's probably where they're going to have to get their goal. It's picking off those sloppy balls in midfield and countering. And you know, maybe if the ball was a little bit weighted better, then it would have been in there.
There's a decent looking cross, headed twice, still alive in the area. And now Berry with a poor touch straight to the feet of Cousin. Hernandez with an equally poor touch, giving it back to Haji Berry, trying to stride forward, and Alexander,
great recovery,
steps in front, earns a foul.
It's a really great recovery there from Alexander, coming from the opposite side of the field. get in position, putting his body in between him and Barry, and earning the foul there for Swope.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a quick counter with man advantage. Ottawa Fury there, if not for intervention of the left back Alexander. Well, we talked about Oliveira, already scored against the Rangers back on July 20th. Now we'll see if Haji Barry is up for the task as well. Did start this season in Israel with Kiryat Shmarma. Now here come the Rangers forward in attack. Lindsay clipping it towards the back post. Well read. Irving able to jump high and claim that. This is an opportunity here for the Swope Park Rangers.
It's again, Swope's playing, we said earlier, sometimes when a team goes a man up, they kind of let their guard down, they drop off, and I'm not sure if that's what's happening with Ottawa, but it's certainly given Swope some added motivation here to try to grind out a result, and they're the better of the two teams this half so far.
Here they come again down the right-hand side. Obasi stepping in front of Lindsay. Still with Swope Park Rangers, who are 5-5-5 at home here in 2019. So they want to get back into this game and make sure they end on the right note at Children's Mercy Park. Hussein arguing that he won the ball, but the Ottawa bench furious with this challenge, and it is adjudged to have been a foul on the Rangers midfielder.
It's feisty in there right now. You see these challenges going on, which you didn't really see too many of them in the first half. And I think that's directly from Paulo Nagamura maybe having a go at his team and saying we need to up the intensity.
And a yellow card given to Juan Kamal for this challenge.
Yeah, he's a bit reckless there coming in. Does get the ball, but of course you can't go through the man to get him, so I understand the referee's yellow there.
And Oliveira, the man to be on the wrong side of that challenge from Juan Kuzain.
I think that's one of those where both teams will argue. I'm sure Swope will think that there's nothing in it, and Ottawa, of course, thinks it's a yellow card.
Always the fun side of being a referee. Both teams may question your every decision. So Oliveira now, see if he's able to get some magic spray and get back to his feet. Came out of the Benfica Academy, Kevin Oliveira. One cap for Cape Verde as well. His young international career, so just 23.
I think he's all right there. I think he just kind of understands that being that veteran guy who sees that maybe they're under a little bit, and maybe hit the reset button here for his team.
Of course, allowed to stay on with the yellow card given to Kuzain. So we're back underway here. Gagnon Laparé. Under half an hour to play here in the final home game of 2019. I was saying, Swope Park Rangers 5-5-5 this year, but boy, have they been good over their history at home. 40-16-14 all-time home record for the Swope Park Rangers. Really have made Kansas City a fortress of theirs. They're trying to solidify here, down a man.
See out there, the way in which Swope is pressing the ball is completely different from the first half. They're sprinting out, they're trying to put Ottawa under pressure, which is really a completely different game plan. And I think that it's one that's working this half.
Ottawa found it tough to get anything moving forward here in the opening 20 minutes of this second half. Of course, they do have the lead. They can hold on here. They will find themselves in the playoffs for the first time. Got some excellent games coming up down the stretch in terms of the Eastern Conference playoff race. Memphis versus Charlotte this Saturday. Charleston hosting Loudoun United. Ottawa will host Bethlehem Steel for their final home game of the season on Sunday. Next Wednesday, what a game this is. Charleston versus Memphis FC. Memphis still trying to force their way in the playoff picture. Got a lot of work to do, but if they can get some help, that would be a massive result if they could beat Charleston in Charleston. Birmingham trying to get the playoff berth in their first season as well, and currently are above the line in that final 10th position. They host Red Bulls too. What a challenge that will be next Wednesday. Some really good games here as the Eastern Conference tightens up down the stretch. Final 3 games of the regular season. Now Ottawa with really intricate passing, and they've moved forward into the opposing penalty area. Francois doesn't hit his shot cleanly, but it's kept alive for the time being, and boy, that's a tough way to end that build-up for Ottawa Fury FC.
That was an excellent build-up all over. They were on the ball for about 2 minutes, just as I was saying how good pressure Swope was putting on, but just this little intricate play here to Barry, and makes the right pass. Just unfortunate there that he mishits the shot, but that's really, really well done. And they know if they're up a man here, they know that Swope, eventually those legs will get heavy, and the more patient that they can be, and the more that they knock the ball around, keep possession, the more those opportunities will open up for them.
See what Francois was trying to do, curl that shot around a defender, didn't come off for him. Kuzane had done well to intercept, but then his pass in turn intercepted back for the Ottawa Fury by Anewa Obasi. One, two between Alexander and Alak. Back now with Alak. He's tackled away by a couple of white shirts, and now they've got some players moving forward into attack. Oliveira for Barry. Inside for Francois. Good touch to bring it under his control. Smothering save. Pulskamp off his line, and it keeps the score at 1-0.
Great save from Pulskamp there. Really good from Ottawa too on the counter. Swope has to take chances. There have to be one-on-one at the back. It's a really good play there from Pulskamp though.
Still holding his midsection. Pulskamp, and actually there for a second was asking his teammates to put it out of play, but no one noticed him. And he was able to get the pass away down the right-hand side as well. But when the Rangers try to build out there, it's again intercepted back with Ottawa Fury. Francois taking defenders on, and he earns a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area.
That's just lazy defending there. He leaves his leg in. Jose Pedro there. He's gotta address the ball. He can't just throw his leg out there and hope for something good to happen. And this is another dangerous position here for Ottawa to have a free kick, and somebody who you certainly don't want on the ball if you're Swope Park Rangers in Howarth.
Jose Pedro is on a yellow card as well, but doesn't find himself on the receiving end of a second yellow card for this challenge. As Jacob Peterson mentioned, it does set up an opportunity for Carl Howarth. Leads the team in assists. Here's the whistle, and immediately clips it in towards the back post, but through everyone in the box and not a play for a goal kick.
I think he was looking for Nana Adekora there, who has run held up here. So we go back to the replay here. Francois coming in. Good touch, puts him into space. Pulskamp makes himself big, stays up. Great save there. Sacrificing his body for the team there. Well done.
You could say that, sacrificing his body there. Pulskamp. See why he was feeling the effects of that save for a good time afterwards. But he's kept his team in the game here, the young netminder.
Yeah, I think he's had a pretty good performance overall. Nothing he could do about the penalty. He's had a few decent saves, and he's commanded his box well on free kicks and any crosses that have come into the box.
So that the best save of the night. So we are in the 70th minute here. And the throw in for Jalen Lindsay, who, just like Felipe Hernandez, played all 90 minutes down in a sweltering FC Dallas Sunday afternoon. That turn for Vanacore Decker from the throw. Looking for Zane Pedro along back post. Zane covers his balance, keeps things alive.
Really good turn there from Vanacore Decker. Just letting the ball run, having the defenders overcommit. And we need to see a little bit more of that from him. But if he can have more moments like that, I think that'll help the rest of the team out to relieve that pressure.
Alak now trying to relieve pressure with a darting run through the center of the pitch. Drop it back with Camden Riley. Smith was an unused sub in that Sporting Kansas City game against FC Dallas. Big switch for Alexander. Good touch off the chest. Inside for Zay Pedro. Back for Alexander. And it's headed out of bounds for a corner kick. Dangerous move there. Sweeping from back to front by the Swope Park Rangers.
Again, it all starts with a long diagonal ball. Well done from Alexander, a guy you wanted on the ball there. Decent little chip in. Ultimately good defending there from Howarth to knock it over for a corner kick.
First corner of the second half for the Rangers. Taken short and whipped in towards Smith. Good delivery there and well defended by Wall Fall. It'll be another corner.
It's a great ball in there. Whipped it with pace. It's difficult to deal with. Somebody on Swope's gotta get across that man there and maybe just a glancing header.
This one's curled in towards Smith. Again, Fall. Commanding header inside his own area. On what looked to be another good delivery from that far side corner. Calm play from Lindsay, but his pass intercepted, and now Francois can stream forward in attack for the Fury. Here is Francois, goes it himself, and right into the gut of Poolskamp.
Yeah, it's a bit ambitious there from Francois, but he's proactive here. He picks up the ball in a good spot. He's driving at the back line. You know, maybe had some options. I think Barry and Oliveira on the other side kind of threw their hands up as well, but he's really been the danger man, and I think he's had a good game overall, really putting pressure on Swope.
Camden Riley. Oh, that's a loose pass from Riley, and Barry now, edge of the area, slides it back for Oliveira. Oh, Poolskamp! A big left paw claws that away. What a save, John Poolskamp.
Excellent save there, Poolskamp. Really here, obviously, we see poor giveaway. Barry reads it well. Great ball over to Oliveira. Does well, keeps it on target. Poolskamp once again stays up, makes himself big. Good save. Two, what's great to see from a young goalkeeper is after he made that save, he went right over to Riley, gave him a high five, and said, you know, I got you. And that's something that for an 18-year-old is very, very, very good to see.
Impressive work there from John Poolskamp on the save and the reaction. And just before this corner will be taken, it's a second substitution for Ottawa as they bring on Thiago for the goal scorer, Wall Fall. Corner with the right foot straight into the arms of Poolskamp. He's trying to start the break here. Alexander looking for a handball, and he got it. This week, U.S. Soccer and Think Taylor are working to promote concussion education during Concussion Awareness Week from October 6th through October 15th. The two organizations are asking everyone to take the hashtag TT Pledge, an oath that everyone involved with the game become more aware of concussion symptoms and recovery. Visit recognizetorecover.org for more information. Forward come the Rangers. Lindsay curling in across, teasingly. It's headed cleared by Meir Jaguer. Again, back with Lindsay, who in that start against FC Dallas made his first appearance in 2019 for Sporting Kansas City. Here's a wonderfully looking delivery from Alexander, still alive. Alak cuts it back for Hernandez. Oh, he just can't quite get it out from under his feet. Big chance there, goes begging for the Rangers. And now Oliveira finds Francois, edge of the area. Francois trying to go at Alexander, and Smith and Alexander are able to clear the danger.
Back and forth stuff here. We got a track meet going on here.
Really opening up here in Kansas City.
Right here, Francois takes a one-on-one. It's a good move there. Decent recovery, though, and Graham Smith comes across and clears the danger. But this is probably how the second half's going to go. Swope has to open themselves up. They got to get a goal. And Ottawa's attack there. You don't want to leave those three guys one-on-one, but it's something that Swope's going to have to do at this point.
There's a chance for Swope the other way as well. Straight down the middle of that pass from Alexander to Alak.
It's a great run, too, Alec. Runs the line, makes sure he's not offside, gets himself in a good spot. The final product's just got to be a bit better, a bit more decisive in his decision-making there, and I think they could have had a very good opportunity.
Lindsay back now with Smith. So we're into the final 15 minutes of regulation here. Final 15 minutes plus added time of soccer at Children's Mercy Park in 2019. Fans of USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop their local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Of course, the Swope Park Rangers have a few Academy products on display. There's two of them combining on the near side. Lindsay forward to Hernandez.
Hernandez has really been a good addition in the second half. You can see when he's been out there, Jalen Lindsay's got on the ball a lot more. He's been a much bigger part, and a lot of the stuff the success is coming from Jalen Lindsay on this right-hand side.
Rangers shot for handball there, nothing given. Zay Pedro now riding the challenge, trying to slot it in behind. Howarth was there, intercepts well, and now starts a counter-attacking opportunity. Just snuffed out by Riley, and it gets a touch off Francois, so it'll be Rangers' ball.
That's a phenomenal tackle from Riley. Francois takes a really good touch there, tries to lift it up and over him. It comes across, and fortunately enough, he earns the corner too, or the throw-in too, because it goes back off Francois. Really well done there for Kenan Riley.
Well, you saw him streaking across the field there from his center back position. Alexander still high up the pitch. And now it's back at the feet of Callum Irving, looking for his 8th clean sheet of the season. Former RGV player in his 3rd year with Ottawa Fury, Irving. On the other side of Canada, Vancouver area. Here come the Fury, though.
Smart there, just to keep possession for a little bit. Swope's been doing a lot of running this half. The legs have to be getting heavy. Ottawa knows that. They're up 1-0. They just need to be patient here, knock the ball around.
Ball inside for Oliveira. He has a shot. Oh, some steam behind that one. Can't keep it on frame. It rattles the supporting posts behind John Pulskamp's goal.
It's a great strike there from Oliveira. You can see they're patient in their build-up. Oliveira finds that little soft spot there. He hits that great. It's just always tailing away. But that's the type of stuff that Ottawa needs to do here. Knock the ball around, and those spaces will come open. Swope has to open themselves up. They have to push number forward. And the more patient that Ottawa is in their build-up, the more opportunities they'll get.
Final substitution of the game for the Swope Park Rangers. Mark Segbers checking in. He replaces Kuzain. And we'll just have to keep an eye out on how that changes, how the Swope Park Rangers line up here for the final 11 minutes plus added time. Alexander back now for Smith. He's popping it up towards Segbers. What are we seeing early on here from Segbers? Back to that in just a second as Barry kind of knew that he was offside there and sheepishly looked over to the far side, AR.
Hoping he'd get away with one there.
No such luck. It's offside back with the Rangers. And Jacob Peterson, what are we seeing with this substitution? How's it going to change how the Swope Park Rangers are going to play over these final 10 minutes and change?
Yeah, I think that Segbers come out here over to the right-hand side. Somebody who offers a little bit different stuff. He's got some pace. He's got some trickery to him. Somebody who can maybe add some fresh legs as well, because we've said the Swope team's got to be getting heavy leg.
He's trying to get on the end of that low cross from Vanacore Decker. Vanacore Decker just a little bit upset with himself that he couldn't get it into the path of Segbers, but here he goes, taking that down really wonderfully well from the throw.
Another great touch from him. He's had a much better second half. He's been much more involved, a lot more intensity and purpose with his play.
Turned 25 on Sunday and getting his first start in the last 7 games. Last start was back on September 1st, Ethan Vanacore Decker. So a bit of a birthday celebration here this evening for him. Still time for him to get on the score sheet as well. Riley, though, gives it away. And Thiago trying to move forward. Found the pressure of Alak a bit too much to cope with. And here comes Alak, shrugging off the challenge of Gagnon Laparé. Nagamura wanted a foul. Nothing, says the referee. Oliveira over for Francois. This game getting stretched. Back now for Oliveira. And just rolled it into Poolskamp.
Yeah, he's going to want that one back. A player of his quality knows that probably should strike this a little bit better.
And as we're seeing that replay, there's a hefty challenge here along the near side. And a yellow card for Charlie Ward.
Yeah, you could hear that up here.
Yeah.
It certainly was a challenge that deserving of the yellow card. Maybe something to slow the game down. Here it is, he's coming across. Tries to shield him right there in the tailbone. That one hurts. He's up and walking.
Yeah, you could definitely hear that picked up on our field side mics there and all the way up here in the booth at Children's Mercy Park as well. We see Charlie Ward imploring his team here to finish this game strong. Just under 8 minutes to go. Charlie Ward, team leader in minutes played this season. 31st start of the campaign as well. And a never present for Nikola Popovic in the center of midfield.
It's almost their unsung hero in a way. Does all the little things that the other guys maybe get the stats and the accolades for, but he does a lot of the work in there for the Ottawa team.
Just won the ball back seconds ago there. Still yelling at the referee about possible handball. Charlie Ward coming over in his first year with Ottawa. What an impression he has made. Coming over from San Antonio FC and able to start in every game but one for the Ottawa Fury. It's a clever flick from Zé Pedro, but not so clever from Alak. And here comes Oliveira. Sees the pace of Haji Berry in behind. Alak picked up a good position there and intercepted the pass back from Berry. Trying to be patient, the Rangers. And Vanacore Decker rides past that challenge. Looking to slide in. Mark Segbers in behind, and I think it was Adekora who's able to just break up that last-ditch challenge.
That was an important challenge there. Vanacore Decker gets that through. Segbers is in. That's a tough one, but one that I think it was Adekora came over and did a really good job.
Chance here for the Swope Park Rangers.
Here he is. He's playing the passing lane. That's an experienced player right there. He's cutting off that angle. He knows where Vanacore Decker wants to go the whole time, and he eliminates it. It's great defending.
Another chance forward now for Oliveira. And he's trying to curl it behind Poolskamp, who sprawls to his left-hand side and clutches it with both hands as well. Good catch, John Poolskamp.
Great hold. Again, it's Oliveira, though. You can tell he wants to score another one against his former team.
Certainly seems up for it. Kevin Oliveira had a number of shots here in the second half, but John Pulskamp has been up to every single one of them.
Does well, gets it on his right foot here, tries to bend it around. It's not far off either, maybe just lacks a little pace.
Now it's in behind for the Rangers, and on the volley, what a finish, St. Pedro! Oh, from nothing, the Rangers have equalized.
What a finish there from St. Pedro. With his right foot as well. From that distance, it's a difficult skill. And I'd say, in a way, I think Swope Park deserved that goal. They really attacked the second half well. And here it is, ball over the top. Dealt with, not really sure what Irving was doing coming off his line there. Maybe there wasn't that communication. He's really caught out, but that is a tough skill. On his opposite foot, really, really difficult. It's a very, very good goal there from St. Pedro. Shows his quality.
Fourth goal of the season for St. Pedro after coming over on the last day of July. And has equalized things for here, 1-1 in the 86th minute. And Ottawa Fury now looking for a last-second goal here to get all 3 points back.
Out! Goal kick!
Seem to be
it's a goal
in
kick. I swear to God, it's a goal kick, ref.
You hear the protestations from Graham Smith thinking that's a goal kick.
Hey, I believe him.
Ottawa Fury seem to be in comfortable position here for the majority of the second half, and the Rangers pull things level. Their first shot on target in this game.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to Ottawa having all those chances and not finishing them, and Pulskamp coming up with some big-time saves, kept his team in the game, and now we're sitting here at 1-1. Ottawa's going to throw a lot of numbers forward here. It's going to be a wild last 5 minutes or so here.
And just after that goal was scored, Ottawa did make their final substitution. Chris Manila checking in for Charlie Ward in midfield. Yeah, readying that sub win the game was a 1-0 advantage for them, the visitors. Now 1-1. Can Manila make a difference? Here's Howarth riding a couple challenges and then fouled on the far side by Felipe Hernandez. Or, excuse me, going the other way.
I think they called a handball on Howarth there. Dribbling at him. Good feet here. In and out. Tries to go over on a free kick. AR throws his flag up there for a handball. Bit harsh, but Swope will take it.
Wasn't buying the appeals for a free kick there. Well spotted by Jacob Peterson. It's a handball against Ottawa Fury and their captain Carl Howarth. Swope Park Rangers hoofing it forward. Pulskamp. Francois. Well read by Smith. And this result does put the Fury into the playoffs. Be hoping to get a late winner and try and increase their chances of jumping into that 6th position in the Eastern Conference. It was already going to be tough. I feel like they're going to need 3 wins from 3 to move that many spaces forward in the table.
It's a very underrated thing right there, what Vanacore Decker did. Naga's yelling at him at the sideline to keep pressing the goalkeeper when he's 30 yards away, and he does, and he earns his team a throw in here when the Irving kicks it over the touchline. So it's really, really impressive there, something that often goes overlooked, but very, very well done there from Vanacore Decker.
And in the 89th minute, no less, after playing the whole second half down a man. We're hearing that there will be 2 added on here. But here comes Kevin Oliveira in behind the back line. Oliveira, and he buries it! What a goal for Ottawa Fury that might just send them into the playoffs!
Wow. It's what we said, playing against his former team. It's a great individual play from him and a good finish. Nothing really Pulskamp could do. He's made a few of those saves already, made himself big. Good finish from Kevin Oliveira there.
His second goal in 2 games against the Swope Park Rangers this year.
Good combo play, good layoff, great first touch, gets him in behind Greg Smith. Great finish with his left foot. Even while he's getting tugged, he could have gone down. He stayed up, slotted it home. It's a well-deserved goal for him and his performance today.
What a moment for Kevin Oliveira. What a goal that could be for the Ottawa Fury. As I said, his second goal in 2 games against SPR, his 6th goal of the season. And can that be a winner for the Ottawa Fury? We're now into added time, and there will be 3 minutes added here at Children's Mercy Park. That goal makes a big difference for the visitors.
It's a huge goal for them as far as playoff positioning and where they are there at the end. They want to host that playoff game, and these 3 points, especially being up a man for 45 minutes, would have been a tough pill to swallow for them. It's not over yet. Swope still has some time.
Into those 3 minutes of added time, can the Swope Park Rangers find a second equalizer here in the latter stages of the second half? Pulskamp trying to urge his players forward. Good flick by Segbers, and again by Alak. Gordecker presses it, but it's out of play.
Either way, I got to say, Paulo Nagamura has to be proud of his team right now. The response in the second half has been completely different from the first, and something that the way that they've been playing the second half is how they played the last 6 games of the season.
Now Haji Berry gets it back from Oliveira, and Pulskamp pushes that aside. Still in the box, though, for the Fury. Francois, edge of the area.
Give me the ball.
And Manila can't quite get that on frame.
Pulskamp is having himself a game now. He's made 4 or 5 of these really difficult saves. Still gives his team a chance to find the equalizer here late.
It was one-on-one with Haji Berry, and we talked about Oliveira trying to get a goal against his former club. I think Berry would have been on the same mind frame. Alexander goes down to the ground in a heap of pain. The referee says no foul. Play on here, Leighton. Lindsay gonna sprint over and keep this in bounds. 1 minute remaining here, time running out for the Swope Park Rangers in their final home game, 2019. Another chance for Manila. That one is high, just over the bar of John Pulskamp's goal.
We're going back to the save right here for Pulskamp. Stays up, makes himself big, reads it. Good parry too, gets it decent angle, doesn't leave it there in the front of the goal. It's a good save.
Yeah, really eliminated a chance at a rebound opportunity. Is there one final attack left for the Swope Park Rangers? Alak tumbles to the ground, and now Ottawa can sprint clear with the ball. Oliveira hearing his coach yell at him to go to the corner. He tries to do just that, and he earns a foul against Graham Smith, and that could be all she wrote here in this game.
It's really well done there from Oliveira too, knowing the situation, knowing they don't need another one, and in the game right here.
Some of his teammates were screaming for the ball in the middle of the pitch as well, trying to get into the area and get a shot away. Oliveira hears his coach instead. As you mentioned, goes and earns this foul. Time running out here now in added time. Ottawa, of course, in no hurry to take this free kick. They can taste the playoffs, the Ottawa Fury.
Come on. Referee, this is more time. This is more time, ref.
Ball back into play. And there's the full-time whistle. The Ottawa Fury are into the USL Championship playoffs for the first time. Kevin Oliveira with a late winner for the guests. Final score 2-1, and they beat a very plucky Swope Park Rangers side here in Kansas City.
Really great game there, especially that second half. Intensity level was raised. Ottawa, I'd say overall it was well-deserved. They were the better team. They had 15 shots on goal and really made Pulskamp work there in net for Swope.
2-1. The Rangers go down in their final home game of 2019. What a game we had. What a second half we had on our hands here this evening. And Ottawa Fury are able to get that late winner from Kevin Oliveira and find themselves in the USL Championship playoffs. 2-1 the final score here. Stick with us. We'll be right back for full-time stats, highlights, and analysis. Full time here at Children's Mercy Park. Ottawa Fury with a 2-1 victory over the Swope Park Rangers that sent them into the USL Championship playoffs. There's some former compatriots getting together. Kevin Oliveira and his former coach, Paulo Nagamura. Well, he put the dagger into Nagamura's bunch here this evening. Oliveira scoring against his former club for the second time this season, and he scores the game winner here tonight. Let's take a look at the full-time stats between Ottawa Fury and the Swope Park Rangers. And Rangers down a man in that second half. 6 out to you, Jacob Peterson.
I think it's, first off, that possession as well. The way Swope approached that second half was completely different from the first. And yes, Ottawa had quite a few chances to bury it, but Swope, I think the response overall was exactly what you wanted and exactly what Paulo Nagamura wanted from his team.
John Poolskamp with the big game and goal for the Rangers as well here this evening. Well, Jacob Pearson, thanks for joining us. I sure had a blast. I don't know about you. How was your encounter here in the booth?
Carter, it was great. Thanks for having me. I was pretty nervous, but hopefully it went all right.
Did a fantastic job. Thank you to our fantastic crew as well. Producer Jordan Burrell, Director TD Dan McCaffrey, 3-play Jason Riley, our wonderful camera crew all season long, Wyatt Craven, Keith McGuire, Paul Stokes, and Joey Reed. A1, Nolan Woodford. A2, Andy Woods. B1, Taylor Dietz. Graphics Wizard, Maggie Blair, and our EIC, Brad Zimmerman. Thanks for watching us all season long. For Jacob Peterson here in the booth, I'm Carter Augustine. Full time here on the final home game of the 2019 regular season. And Ottawa Fury beat the Swope Park Rangers by 2-1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.